Guys, someone in my group has just said they're having trouble selling this token, Blazing Coin. So I thought I'd come over, have a bit of a crack at it. I was recording the video and I was trying the things that I normally try on PancakeSwap to get it to buy. I couldn't even buy it. And so I was going to buy some, then I was going to sell it. I was only trying to buy a tiny little amount, it wouldn't go through. So I decided to have a look at what the tax were, because I was thinking if the tax is really high, I might need higher slippage. So I went into the contract, come over to this read page here. I thought, oh, 5% tax, 5% liquidity, and then I spotted this. This one here is the maximum transaction amount and the maximum wallet amount, and they're both set to 0. This is not a percent or anything, although it would be the same. This is number of tokens. So to give you an idea, let's just jump on a different token. The kind of figures that you would normally see there look like this. So max transaction amount, loads and loads of zeros, and not everybody's got one of those max holding things. No, that's not the same thing. Yeah, not all contracts have that, but yeah, so that is what the problem is. Where's it gone? Is it this one? Yeah, so the reason that you can't, no, it's not that one. I've got too many of them open. Let's find it. It's not that one either. I'll tell you what, I'll just close all these and I'll find, again, Blazing Coin, so it'll be this one. So yeah, the reason you cannot buy or sell it and nobody else can is because of this max transaction amount has been set to 0 and this max wallet amount has been set to 0. So obviously when you try and do a transaction, it's always going to be higher than that amount. It has been renounced, so that means that that transaction can never be turned back on, and the swap and liquefy has been set to 0. I was like, you know what, things happened here. I really do. I think I'll have a look. I was going to say, I think what might have happened is it was a SafeMoon clone with a V1 address instead of the V2 address, and they've misunderstood the way you fix this. So if that's a problem, you'd normally turn this off. And then I recommend that people reduce the fees, because the fees are not doing anything then. So you turn this to 0 and this to 0. And the other day someone was asking me about this, and I was saying, oh, you want to turn your fees off? And they sent me a picture saying, what? Turn this one. And they said that there. Because they thought it was the max tax amount, but it's not. It's a transaction. I was like, oh no, don't set that one to 0, else no one can do anything. What I wanted them to do is to set these. Now I know that's not this person because I know what contract that was, but I wonder if someone thought that. But they've also turned the maxed wallet to 0 as well. So they've turned these to 0 and they've renounced. That's a bit weird, isn't it? So we'll have a look at the contracts. This is the contract creator. I was thinking the other day, when you're following these dodgy contracts and you look at the contract creator, that might not be the person who's doing the rug pull. I mean, I've developed contracts for people. They haven't rug pulled, but the person who I've developed them for could rug pull. I'm really strict on when I develop a contract. If someone wants me to develop a contract for them, then they are burning or seriously long time locking their liquidity. The contract is going to be renounced. They get very little say in what goes on. I will not allow a contract that I make for somebody else, even if they're paying me a lot of money. I get bombarded all the time with people saying, make me a SafeMoon clone, make me a SafeMoon clone. And you talk to them a little bit and then you think, this sounds a bit dicey. And I watched one guy who was asking me to do this, and then he rug pulled a contract. I was like, I'm not making you anything. So yeah, if anybody wants me to make them a contract, I most certainly will. But there's such strict rules on what I will create. I'm not having my name on this field right here for a contract that could possibly be rug pulled by someone I created it for. So yeah, it would be very safe. But if you wanted me to do it, I can do it. So let's have a look. Look at that. Look. Transaction 1 day, 16 hours ago. This dude transacted loads of money, 368 BNB. Holy shit. Oh my word. That guy's just stolen that much money. That's insane. Oh, that's just shocking. Today, someone come into my group and they'd been scammed for £15,000. And it took them a few years to save that amount of money. I felt so sorry for her. It's the biggest loss I've seen someone take. I mean, there's got to be people who have lost a lot more, but look at this. 368 BNB is how much this scammer has stolen off you guys. Fuck. That's just nuts. They've got nothing on their thing at the moment. I imagine this here is going to say, this is a scam. So yeah, always check these comments. That's insane. Rug pull. Yeah, you ain't joking, rug pull. Biggest rug pull I've seen. So this guy, if these people check the comments, this dude right here told you 2 days ago, I don't mean you, listen to this right now, you might check the comments. But yeah, if people had seen this and it might have made them think, I'm not going to invest on this one. And then the person couldn't have just ran off with all that money. How much is a BNB? It's about $600, isn't it? Something like that. I think so. So that's completely nuts. Absolutely completely nuts. Let's get back on there. So have I got a calculator on my computer? I must have. There it is. Right, so they had 368 BNB, and that's roughly $600. That's a much smaller number than I expected. Is something going off the end of the calculator? I thought it'd be much bigger than that. So, I mean, like $250,000, because obviously it's not what I said, is it? It's over $600 for one BNB. They've just scammed $250,000. What a complete wanker. I mean, they could have scammed for a lot more as well, couldn't they? I mean, what I'm looking at there is that one transaction of when they're shifting things. Come on then, where did they send it to and what's that up to? So they've sent it to this address here, and then this address split it into two and sent it onto these two addresses. Oh no, it's the same one. Sent it to this address. So now it's at this address. Well, there's 368 BNB sitting on this address, so about 200 grand. This address hasn't really done anything since it got that money. So they've jumped it between two addresses and they're currently sitting at it here. Man, that's insane. Scammer. I'm so tired. I can't even think. A lot of money. That's pound sign. Oh, fuck it. I'm just going to put this video in there later. I'm not going to do that now. Right, so, yeah, they're a bit naughty, aren't they? Very, very naughty indeed. You're definitely going to get coal in your stockings at Christmas. Not that it matters. You got $250,000. You can buy whatever you want. But one day you'll end up in prison and then you'll think, why did I just scam all those people? Ormius coin and Ormi cash. So what you got to do with these then? What's going on with Ormi? Is that something you made? I don't know. Don't know what I'm looking at. I haven't slept for about 3 days. It's all starting to blur. So, dude in my group, there's no chance whatsoever you can sell this token because this dude stole everybody's money. What an absolute shit. Blazing coin. So yeah, that's a scam. That is definitely a scam. I mean, there's not a great deal of point of writing it on the contract notes, is there? It's all the contracts set to 0. You can't buy anything or sell anything. Transactions set to 0, and it's been renounced. So that's a real shame. That is a real shame. There you go. I absolutely think, I know I've said it before, but I do think that all these scammers will one day end up in prison because it's all on the blockchain and there's got to be a way that they get the money in or they get the money out at the end, or just some sort of random mistake that they make that reveals their identity. And then hopefully one day they'll all get caught. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be awesome if when that happens, they kind of like follow that trail back on the blockchain and they just give all those people that have been like scammed, their money back. That'd be nice. It'd be nice for that person today who'd had £15,000 nicked off her. That's well out of order, isn't it? And I was talking to her and it was like, I don't know, 2:30 in the morning or something. And she's like, right, I'm going to work. So she's gone to work into a warehouse, overnight in a warehouse from 3 at night till 3 in the afternoon, working overtime, getting the money, saving up, comes on here, someone steals it all. So fucking out of order. I need to make some tokens and have some sort of, I don't know, like a charity dev wallety type thing coming out of them, and it builds up and it just reimburses people's rug pulls, so it can get a little bit of money back. I'll just get inundated with people, wouldn't I, if I did that? I've been rug pulled. It's like your wallet. What's one of those? I just want some free money. I'd get scammed by people saying they've been rug pulled. Although I think it'd be really hard to find anyone on here that's not been rug pulled, apart from the rug pullers. I have a lot, but I weren't in on this one. I'm really glad I wasn't. So yeah, I can't remember who brought it to my attention, but it was someone in the group. I'm not even going to try and scroll through and try and find it. It's in here somewhere anyway. But yeah, that one is a scam. And that wallet address, I mean, the guy's moving it from one wallet to another, but you can see the addresses as I was going through the video. Very, very bad. Let's have a little look at the contracts, because I mean, can you remember that one the other day, if you watched it, where they'd got they were using the asterisks to make the comments? They were quite big. Well, that made that stand out, and they did them with lots of them, didn't they? It was like Artemis and some other things. I can't remember the other ones, but Artemis was in there. But yeah, they were all very recognisable as the same person. But I mean, this one's not so recognisable, but I've just noticed that these 2 bullet points here, they haven't been spaced out like the others. So, I mean, that is something at least. So if you did happen to notice on a future contract that you see this again, that it's got this like that, because they can just like copy this and paste it and it's straight back in there, which happens really, really often. They just copy and paste. That's so out of order. This verification thing, if any of you are wondering, where it says submitted for verification on BSC scan, when you first deploy your contract, I mean, you write all your code like this in Remix, and then when you deploy it, it changes it into EVM bytecode, so Ethereum Virtual Machine bytecode, which is just like loads of letters and numbers that you can't possibly understand. So it turns it all into that. So it doesn't matter whether you use Solidity or a different language, it all gets compiled down. You use a high-level language you can read, and then it turns it into that big block of code. And you see it quite often. Some of the contracts are like that. And then when you come in here, you have a button you can click on, and all you need to do is to go and get all of your code that you've just typed, copy it, and paste it into a form. And then what BSC scan does, to verify it, it checks that EVM bytecode, when it's decompiled into a high-level language, matches what you've just pasted in. That's all it does. And that's called verification. So when you get this this thing at the top that says submitted for verification, it's not like you've submitted it somewhere and they're going to do some kind of audit on it or anything like that. It means it doesn't give you any security or safety whatsoever. It gives you that little green tick there, and it means that a human can read this. So, I mean, everybody should do it. I just think some people don't know how to do it or what it is. So they release a contract and it's still EVM bytecode and no one can read anything. But when you see one of those, there's always a little button. You can click on the button and it says decompile. It'll be around here somewhere. And you click it and it would take that code to another website. And I think you have to click another button while you're there and it would decompile it for you. Now, if somebody has already done that, then you get it immediately because it's already been decompiled. But if they haven't, you have to wait about 30 seconds, then refresh the page and it'll do it. So yeah, you know, when you stumble into one of those ones, I think they've normally got orange around them. And it's just loads of nonsense that you can't understand. So you can turn them into stuff like this. And when a dev has done that, that's what gives it this little tick and says it's been verified. That's all that means. There's nothing else in any way credible about it or anything. That's all it means. It means that you can read it. Right. There we go, guys. Really sorry about this one if you was on it. That's bloody awful. because it was a lot of money. I might go and try to sleep and make a nice change. Right, the last 2 cups of coffee I had were decaf, so I was thinking I'm definitely going to try and get some sleep today. So we'll see what happens. See you all later, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.